Hey, it's Ido here, international supermodel moonlighting as an adventurer, moonlighting again as a janitor. How do I do it all? So anyway, we're up on Tarago Nook, and they told us to get out. So I took the others to go and kick up some trouble. We found this kid called Fiddle locked in a cage, and because I'm such a nice person, I let him out. Nothing to worry about. Then the next morning, we saw ourselves out and went north looking for Professor Peridot. We had a little tussle with a huge bird, but that was no problem for me, obviously. And then to top it all off, the guy we're looking for is hanging out in a room full of treasure. Time to cash in and head home.
Kia ora everybody, and welcome to the terrible adventures of the Janice and Breford's Parchment Company. We are up to Hearth and Welby-ing Part 4. It's getting pretty serious up in here. My name is Penny D. I will be your dungeon manager today. And today we're talking about latest obsessions. And so my latest obsession is also one of my longest running obsessions, which is at the moment, a lot of my spare time, I am playing Pokemon video game championships, is you bring a team of 6 Pokemon, you play with 4 of them, and you've got 2 out at a time. And it's my absolute favorite game. The reason it's my newest obsession is because the new games just came out. So there's like a whole bunch of new Pokemon. It's like playing a new game with some classic elements. And so that's my jam right now. I'm doing a lot of competitive Pokemon, playing in the VGC, and there's a lot to learn, so I spend a lot of my time learning about how that works. And it's not a very interesting thing for anyone other than me, but it is my latest obsession, and I love Pokemon. Put that on the
Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so I'm Stephanie, and I play Frankie, the human artificer. My current obsession, I have 2. First one is, so in a couple months, or next month, I don't actually know when, I'm going to do the Tongariro crossing with my family.
Oh, yeah!
So I'm currently like obsessed with pretty much everything to do with that. I'm looking up like best techniques for hiking because I've never really went on a hike before. I went to Kathmandu yesterday and I bought the most expensive pair of shoes that I have ever owned.
Wow.
Wear them in.
Oh, they're like $300 or something, and I'm like, I never thought my most expensive pair of shoes would be hiking boots.
Well,
They always are, though.
Yeah.
They
It's
always
not my
are.
most expensive pair of shoes.
Like, I'm going to buy some really nice going out shoes. It's your hiking boots. They're the most expensive bloody things in your house.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, I'll save it for a nice pair of like redbacks or something that I would never probably wear. But now I'm wearing these they're really actually cool, and they're men's size because they didn't have the women's size that I wanted, and I didn't want to wait, a couple weeks. So I'm like, you know what? And the lady's like, it doesn't really matter. They're just different colors. And I'm like, to be honest, I like these colors better than the women's colors. So I love those. And my second obsession that I also bought on the same day on a whim, sort of, peer pressure, is these glitter coated Crocs that I bought.
Oh my god.
So shoes.
Shoes.
Yeah, shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes. So shoes, but they're Crocs, and I wear them in sport mode because they're cool.
You never know when you're going to need to run around in Crocs, so you've got to keep them in sport mode.
Exactly. Yeah, keep them in sport mode. And I'm just like, wow, these are cool. And I showed my friend, and he's like, are you wearing these ironically? And I'm like, don't come from me. They're cool, and they have glitter on them. So that's my current obsession, glitter-coated socks and hiking boots.
Hell yeah.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I'm playing Flinvar, the Halfling Bard, and our little friend Welby, the little red dragon. So I was deciding whether or not if I go wholesome or not with my answer of my latest obsession, but I'm going to go honest, which is not wholesome. So I've just recently watched the episode of The Last of Us, which has a certain character in it. I'm trying not to give a spoiler or anything.
Spoil, yeah.
No, but there's a very...
It's based on a game that came out 15 years ago, so I think you can spoil it.
No, you can't.
Okay.
No. This is different. There's a different plot going on.
Yeah. But anyway, so they introduced a new character, which is played by Murray Bartlett, and he is a very very handsome man. And somehow from watching him in this lovely story, I just was like, I Googled this man's cinematography, and I've been like binge watching Tales of a City, which is very raunchy, and just I cannot get enough of this man. And so it's all consuming. And that goes really well with my other obsession, which is I've suddenly decided that I want to go motorcycle camping.
What is that?
That's where you like try and pack in all your like. It's like you go like motorcycle touring across New Zealand or something, but you just take your camping shit with you.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying.
That's
great. Do you know how to ride a motorcycle?
No, I'm going to be the passenger. I'll be the pillion. I can't even ride a scooter. No, I want my big handsome Murray Bartlett to drive for me, and I'll be. I can combine my obsessions. Oh, this is dangerous. All right. Yep.
All right, we've got to get Nate to stop talking about this topic because Nate's gonna not be able to concentrate for the rest of the session.
Yeah, you're lucky, Penny, that you didn't give the professor a mustache.
Do you want me to give the professor a mustache and put him on a motorbike for you?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I think we all would want that.
I think we all would want that, but we would all be way too distracted by that, I feel.
I'll keep my thirst myself. Who's next?
My name's Liz. I'll take the heat off of you, mate. My name's Liz and I play Karen. She's a dwarf barbarian. She's a mother. She's a wife. She is the HR manager. She is a hero, maybe. She is a runaway princess, definitely. My latest obsession is watching home decor videos on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
I will load up a home decor video, an architectural digest, some random person who's renovating their own house. I don't care. I love them all. I will fold laundry to that for hours. I
might need to get some tips from you.
How do you
happily
fold laundry for hours?
I save up the clean laundry. I fold it all at once because it's boring. But it's better when you're watching home decor videos. It's so many of them. So many. Lots and lots and lots. I'm filling up my brain with home and I have nowhere to put it at the moment because but when the time comes, I'll be ready. I'll be prepared.
You could get one of those businesses where you dress up a house to be sold and you just put,
Staging.
Staging,
yeah, staging.
I'd bloody love that. That would be a great job. But then that would cut into my watching home decor videos on YouTube time. So maybe not. Maybe that's not the best way to go because what I'm not obsessed with is actually doing the work. It's watching other people do the work. So
just experiencing the end product. The rest of it's boring.
You can still make money out of the producer.
I like to understand why people have chosen certain things in their house, and when they point at it and say, "That's my horrible little mug that looks like an old man, and I got it from a secondhand store." I'm like, hell yes. And I've had him for 20 years, and he's moved houses with me. Hell yes. Show me all your weird shit. I want to see all your strange little home decor things that bring you joy. I love it. That's me. That's my obsession.
I'm Poppy. I play Ida for the Tiefling Rogue. And I have two little obsessions at the moment. My first one is crochet.
Cute.
Crochet.
I often go in and out of crochet, but this is the longest I've kind of stuck with it. I've made actual clothing, which is not like me, and I'm currently making a sweater. I am currently crocheting. I'm crocheting during this recording because I don't need to think about it.
Oh, so you're literally creating stuff as we go. That's cool.
Yes, yeah.
I love that.
The second thing is my garden. I recently we put veggies in the garden, and watching them grow, like every day I'll go and look at them a couple times a day, just watching them slowly grow, and it's so nice. Like we've got zucchini, we've got little cucumbers. I also got a Drosera capensis, which is a sundew, like carnivorous plant.
Oh,
so I've been watching that as well, and it's like obviously not interesting, but it's really interesting for me.
Oh, it's rad though. I love plants that like hunt bugs.
You're your own cozy game. Someone's gonna make a cozy game about your life.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Stardew Valley, but in real life.
That's so cool.
That is really cool.
I love talking about things that we love.
Yeah, I'm glad that we all have things that we love right now. It's
Yeah.
awesome. I learned something about all of you today. But I really, you know what? I just want it to be a podcast where we just talk about things that we love, but it's not that. It's about D&D, which we also
we can do that
love.
some other time, but yes, we also do love D&D, so we can get back to it.
And so you guys, after 9 episodes, finally reached your destination. It turned out as a cave full of an infinite amount of treasure and a muscly dude in a tight shirt. Should we continue with that?
Yeah.
An infinite amount of treasure indeed.
So there you are. You're inside this mountain, surrounded by treasure. Professor Peridot has dragged a couple of really expensive looking chairs out of the piles and assembled them in a big circle so you can all sit. And he's not even sitting in his chair. He's sitting on the floor next to a pile of gold. And Welby is diving into the coins and like Scrooge McDuck-like and then coming back out. And like Professor Peridot's like holding out his arm and Welby's like climbing up and across his shoulders and then like, double flipping into like another bit of treasure. And Professor Peridot is just delighted at this little baby dragon. And he turns to you and he says, so how's his health?
He's a little bit lazy. I've got to say he likes to spend a lot of time cozying up to me. He eats a heck of a lot, and unfortunately, my mother makes good cake, so he's quite a lot of cake. So it's just...
I see.
Yeah, he's very active. He's got a good temperament, a little bit cheeky. Yeah.
A little bit.
And so his appetite is good. What about his behavior? Is he active? Is he seeking out mental stimulation?
Oh, you can say that again. That's part of the reason why we've come up here. Listen, I understand. He's a baby. I've had babies of my own. They're active. They get into things. But it becomes a problem when your baby is also a dragon and no one else knows it exists and you have to go to work every day and then your baby destroys one of the machines at work.
Potentially.
For, as you say, attention and mental stimulation.
So Ameth seems delighted. he seems elated at this story that you're telling. And like you can tell that, he's just amused by the idea of Welby causing a lot of destruction. He just thinks it's cute. And then he turns to Flynn and he says, and what about his breath? Is his breath behaving itself?
Yes, so I think there was only one instance where it kind of was learning and, so he can do some things with it that I don't understand, but I appreciate. We basically need a Welby 101, to be honest. We need a 101 guide for Welby.
Flynn's been doing a fantastic job, I will say. But this isn't like anything we've ever dealt with before.
No, never.
No, I imagine not a lot of people in this day and age have dealt with this before. And he gets up and he goes over to where Welby's like doing backstroke in a little thing of coins, and he scoops him up and he holds them in his hand. And Nate, you've noticed that Welby is like, he is as comfortable being handled by this man as he is with you. Where like normally if like Idafer or Frankie or anyone tried to pick him up, he would probably not like that, but he seems fine with being handled by this man. And he scoops him up and he holds him up to his face, so that he's just a couple of inches, half a foot away from his face. And he speaks a few words to Welby that none of you understand. Except Idafer, your earring scrambles the audio and you're able to understand the next little part of this conversation.
Is he speaking Draconic? Is it a word? Is it a language?
It is a language.
It is a language. You've heard of it before. None of you understand it, so none of you speak Draconic, so you don't know. Idafer, this is what you hear. Hello there, little one. Are you safe? Are these people kind to you?
Oh, he's doing a well-being check.
No!
Welby responds in the same language and says, yes, sir. My daddy gives me lots of good food all the time and his friends are funny.
Yeah, I cannot handle.
Oh, so cute.
Flynn's watching them talk and he's just like, there's a language, and he instantly wants to know like how to do, he wants to do that.
Ameth continues and he says, I see. And why have you come here? Are you looking for a new home? And Welby responds, no, sir, I just follow my daddy.
Oh boy.
Is he speaking Draconic?
You don't know enough about the language to be able to identify it. Ameth continues and says, do you know who I am? do you know who the people in Tarago are? And Welby responds by saying, no, but you all smell like me?
Oh.
Ameth says, you're very insightful, Welby. And he puts him back down on the treasure. He takes off his glasses and he begins to clean them as he turns and addresses you all in common.
Yes, glasses.
Your little friend here is fortunate. He seems to have found himself in the care of some respectable people. And he looks down at Welby, who's like, there's like a crown sitting on top of some of the coins, and he's like diving out of the coins and then like back in and then back in and like diving inside the coins and the crown, just Scrooge McDucking the crap out of it. And he turns back to you all and he says, are you familiar with the concept of dragon folk?
No. Wait, so like lizard folk is dragon folk?
We know about dragonborns.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, the hot tea. Oh my gosh.
Blackguard speaks up at this point and he's like, you're talking about actual dragons, aren't you? And Ameth says, yes, that's right. Enormous, magical, powerful creatures. Your newborn shares some lineage with them, but he is what you would call a fairy dragon. He won't get much bigger than what you see, so the death of the weave shouldn't trouble him as much as it did his larger relatives.
Yes, I did think all of the dragons went extinct over 100 years ago. Is that not what happened?
Well, you see those big bodies. Dragons were reliant on magic to sustain themselves. You couldn't keep an engine like that going on just food and water alone.
Oh.
There was some disruption a while ago, as you say, and since then, I would imagine most dragons would have had to make alternate plans or perish.
That's very sad.
And I don't know if you're going to accept this as meta gaming, because Karen doesn't understand what he was saying in Draconic. But she is insightful. How about I roll an insight check on Amma?
Go ahead.
And then I'll decide whether or not I get to say this. That's a 14?
You can say some of it.
And what did you do to survive?
Wait, what? Oh! Flynn's like, yeah, the comfortability. Oh my gosh.
Blackguard picked up what you're putting down and he is scribbling. He is like frantically writing. And
Blackguard,
Ameth is just watching him.
Blackguard, if Ameth says to destroy this, destroy it, okay?
He smiles at you, Karen, and he doesn't answer your question. And he says,
We'll make him.
your Welby should be fine. Just being around small sources of magic from time to time should be plenty to sustain him.
Oh, good.
You'll also need to let him hoard. It's in his nature to collect and store. And he kind of looks around the room at all this treasure and he says, pretty things. It's a hard habit to shake even for the oldest and wisest of dragons. And at this point, he turns around and he's like having a lot of fun with Welby. He's like tossing him up in the air and Welby's like opening his wings and floating down and tossing him back up again.
I'm a little bit jealous.
Cute.
And he says, it's been too long since I last saw a child. Halfling.
Yes.
I don't suppose you would consider letting him live here with us.
Oh.
He gestures to the treasure room around him and says, you'd be well compensated.
Flynn looks at Welby and like deep in the eyes and he's like, that's Welby's choice where he goes. I just love him.
No. Peridot smiles to himself at that answer. And you realize that he was probably testing you with that question. Whether or not you would be willing to sell him for all of the, like, literally, if you took even 1% of the treasure that you see here, you and your entire families would be set for life. He turns around and he picks up a stack of books and he begins like opening them up and signing them and handing them out to all of you. And the book is called The Life in Cold Blood, a study of reptilian life in Ymirsa.
Ooh.
Thank you.
And because he's a herpetologist, he studies, he says, this is not much in thanks, but you made it all this way, so I'm going to have to ask you to leave now, and it's probably a good idea to keep your mouth shut about the location of the hoard.
Yes, no, yeah, okay.
Blackguard, did you hear that?
Blackguard, like, looks up, and you realize that like he's been writing down everything, and he looks over at Ameth, who's just holding out his hand. And Blackguard's like his shoulders slump, and he looks down. And he's like, "This is all my notes. This is all my notes."
Blackguard, do you really want to tangle with?
Or maybe why can't he just take the notes that's relevant to this particular area instead of all of the notes?
Roll me a persuasion check, Frankie.
Frankie's thinking about the good quotes he's been like filtering back to him.
Persuasion. That's a 19.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ameth like considers you for a minute, and then he nods and still holds out his hand for the book. And Blackguard hands it over, and Ameth like kind of leafs through it a little bit before tearing out a couple of pages and handing it back to Blackguard. Welby whispers something to him in his ear, and he smiles and nods, and Welby like flies away off into the treasure room. Welby has asked for a share, which will be distributed to you. I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to make that concession if you all agree to keep the knowledge of this place to yourselves. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. And can I come back if I need to for Welby's being? Well-being? Well-being.
Well-being. I swear to God.
Don't ever come back to this place. But most of the time you can find me down in Tarago Nook Town. If you have Welby with you, you may enter any time, not just in the on-season. I know they get all pissy about it down there.
Oh, tell me about it.
To be fair, none of them did know about Welby.
He kind of laughs to himself, and he's like, yeah, of course they didn't. Let me guess, you turned up and they panicked.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all right. Come back anytime. Just if you have Welby with you, that should be enough.
Oh, is their hair colour their dragon colour?
Shh. No.
Hey,
Do
are you
want
Nate
Ameth-
asking me, Penny, that question? Or are you
that's-
is Flynn asking Ameth that
Yeah,
question?
that was Flynn been like trying to absorb this all, and he's like, I'm made of something come
You
together.
blurted
Yeah.
out.
Shush! Do you want Ameth to have to rip more pages out of Blackguard's book? Come on.
He's not taking.
And Blackguard's like, oh yeah, please, no, I can't lose any more pages. There's a lot of stuff in
I mean,
there.
yes. Yes, no, we'll definitely keep you safe.
And so Ameth takes a little time. He hands you a pouch containing 4,000 gold.
Whoa!
And another small box with 32 blue electrum in it.
Oh, yeah.
And he sits and waits patiently while Welby returns 4 times with an item that he puts in each of your hands. And when he does this, Welby takes his time sniffing each of you and then digging around in piles of treasure. And he brings you each an item that he apparently feels fits you.
Oh, Welby.
Oh.
Karen, you receive a platinum ring with a decorative crystal butterfly in the place of a stone.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. And she puts it on immediately and admires it.
Idafer, you receive a menacing black and purple sickle.
Yo, Welby, you sick little dude, and he gives him like a little scratch under the chin.
He loves that, and then he runs off.
Oh,
Flynn, Welby takes more time than the rest to find something for you. You receive a decorative pin, round in shape with 5 concentric circles in the center.
How lovely.
yeah, that's fine.
And Frankie, Welby takes the longest of all for you. He takes about 30 minutes digging around looking for something for you before he comes back and hands you a featureless silvery orb. And when you pick it up and shake it a little bit, it bursts, covering you in a weird metallic liquid before it slowly starts reinstating and retaking its orb shape.
While this is happening, Karen would like to sit down with Flynn and Ameth and kind of go over care for Welby.
Yeah, good idea.
Cleaning and scale care.
Like getting a new puppy.
Yeah, exercise, enrichment ideas.
He's got to brush his teeth.
Yeah, hygiene, food, just kind of, because Flynn is a first-time dad, and Karen's done all this before, but she doesn't actually know what Welby needs, but she knows what to ask for. what Welby needs.
Sure.
So she'll kind of facilitate that conversation, if that's okay.
So the three of you sit together, and Ameth is very forthcoming about letting you know. He's already told you most of the big stuff, like you got to let him hoard. You got to make sure that he is, semi-regularly exposed to small sources of magic, and the fact that you carry Electrum around with you and you have your amulets, he thinks will be enough. Because of the fact that Welby will never get larger, he thinks that should be enough, that if he just hangs around you guys and you continue doing as you are doing, that will probably be enough to sustain him. Ameth does get a little confused at the idea of Welby eating a ton of cake. And he lets you know that he probably needs more protein. He probably needs to eat a fair amount of meat or protein substitutes. If things like bugs would probably be all right. And this all lines up, Flynn, with what you know about his hunting habits. He does tend to he'll eat whatever you put in front of him, but he also does tend to hunt mice and eat spiders and stuff.
Loves catching flies.
Your house has never been so clear of pests.
So, each of you tell the audience and tell each other about the items that you have received.
Can I go first? Because mine's up.
Yep, go ahead.
So Flynn looks down at the pin kind of broochy thing in his hand with the concentric circles as Penny described. And it says it's the Promise of Tomorrow. This pin stores spells cast into it, holding them until the attuned wearer uses them. The ring can store up to 5 levels worth of spells at a time. Any creature can cast a spell of 1st through 5 levels into the pin by touching it as the spell is cast, expending electrum as they do so. The spell has no effect other than to store in the ring. If the ring can't hold the spell is expended without effect. While wearing the ring, you can cast any spell stored in it. The spell uses a slot level spell save DC, attack DC bonus, and spellcasting ability of the original caster. But is otherwise treated as if you cast a spell. The spell cast from the ring is no longer stored in it once and freeing up some space. It requires attunement.
Yeah, so essentially you can store 5 first level spells or 1 5th level spell, or any number in between of spells inside the Promise of Tomorrow, and then cast them as an action on your own turn.
And that will not take up one of his spell slots when he casts it.
That's right.
From the brooch.
So question. So it says it'll use the bonuses and DC stuff from the ability of the original caster. Does that mean me as the original caster or the person who put the spell in the pin?
So if you asked Idafer to cast a first level spell into the Promise of Tomorrow, it would use Idafer's spell stuff.
Ah, okay. So I have to write that down when I take note of it. He immediately puts it on his little collar and thanks Welby, with a little glisten in his eye. He's holding it together.
Oh,
my boy!
Oh, the boy! Alright, I'll go next then. So Karen has received the Ring of the Butterfly from Welby, and it suits her very well because it looks super tacky, which is very funny. It's one of those chunky pieces of jewelry. You know those older ladies who wear chunky jewelry?
It should be turquoise.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of turquoise and purple. It's really chunky, and she loves it. So the Ring of the Butterfly, once per short rest, I can use my action to touch a medium or smaller creature, not including myself, with the ring, teleporting them up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that I can see. An unwilling creature can resist this effect by succeeding on a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw, and it does require attunement.
Oh, so you could punch someone literally 60 feet away in a sense.
Yeah. Or if, for example, Frankie is getting murked on by a beastie, Karen can run up to him and give him a tap on the shoulder and just pop him straight back to safety.
Oh my god, floating ranged attacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an unoccupied space that I can see, which means I've already figured out that I can throw them in the air.
Sick. I was just going to think about that. I was like, we could do a really sick attack if you put it together. Alright, I've got Hecate's Resolve, which is a +1 sickle. When you use your bonus action to make an offhand attack with this weapon, you may add +2 dex modifier to the total damage. 2 plus dex modifier to the total damage. It requires attunement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your dex modifier at the moment?
That is +3.
Nice.
So yeah, at the moment, you can add 5 damage when you use your bonus action to use your offhand to attack with the sickle.
Just a question about how it looks. Is it a sickle with like a slightly longer handle, or is it a shorter handle?
It's like a shorter handle one.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And it's an offhand attack, which means that you can have something in your main hand and then this one in your offhand.
Yeah, that's right. So you've got Conman's backup and Hekate's resolve as a dual wielding pair.
That's cool.
That's some sick style.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so it was just the orb of metallic fluid. So Frankie's going to play around with it because, he's figured out how to make this shield that comes out of his little gauntlet that he wears, that he does everything out of, that looks, in his mind, really awesome, but to everyone else, it probably just looks like a bunch of junk welded together. Because, Frankie doesn't try to make things look cool. He just makes them work, sort of, sometimes. So it's going to attach to his shield, and when he bursts it, it's just going to explode all over, hopefully, the other person, and just make it difficult to hit. So that'll be fun.
And so what you discover, Frankie, through a little bit of experimentation, is the fluid that comes out of it is like repels the metal that's in your shield. And so, you can attach that to your shield, and then anything that gets coated in the fluid will have a harder time hitting your shield.
That
That
rules.
is so handy.
Yeah. So once per short rest, when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to burst the orb, coating the enemy's weapon in a magnetic fluid. As long as you wield the shield, that enemy has disadvantage on melee attacks against
Did you say
you.
magnetic fluid?
Yes.
Oh, that's so clever. I love that. So it's like a repellent.
Is it metal? Damn, I was wondering about
No, so for the purposes, we can't use heat metal. Yeah, no, we thought about this. I'm like, that'll be cool. And then Penny's like, no. And I'm like, oh, Penny.
No, we can't create instant
Penny.
lava. Oh, no.
Yeah, so you all spend a little bit of time, attuning to your items.
So can we actually spend this time to attune?
Yeah, I'll say that with enough time, because Ameth is enjoying playing with Welby and talking about, care tips for him, that you can all have
Someone's having a cup of tea.
you can all have a short rest, during which time you can attune to your items.
Wonderful.
So you can all consider them attuned now.
I'm going to tell her all my secrets. That's how I'm going to attune with mine.
And just make sure to log that we got that 4,000 gold, so $1,000 each, and then we got 32 electrum, and should we just divide it
By 4?
into
Yeah.
each? Yeah.
So how much would that be each? 16?
8.
8.
So 8 electrum, and then 1,000 gold each.
So Ameth tells you that by accepting these items and by taking them away with you, that you are now shareholders in the Horde. So that means that you are obliged to keep it a secret, and that he says that it'll probably never happen, but assuming that everybody else with a share perished all at once, whoever holds a share would inherit the entire thing.
My god.
Yo!
Oh.
Yes, I'm starting to plan how to kill you all.
Uh-huh.
Ameth, did you want to give a small gift to Welby to make sure that he's a shareholder too?
He smiles and shows you that Welby has taken a coin and is like hugging it tightly.
Oh.
And he says, this is the start of his very own Horde. This coin.
I'm gonna start giving anything cute and shiny that I find to Welby, I think.
I know, right?
Ameth tells you that this Horde was created about 150 years ago when a bunch of wealthy people realized that they all needed to store their wealth in one place.
So not a bank?
Oh, cool. So it's the start of capitalism. No.
No, it's the beginning of share investing. Watch out, index.
Yeah, he's actually just like one of those investment bros. He's like, yo, have you considered Bitcoin?
Dragons are all share traders.
As he ushers you out, he's heading you towards the door. He tells you that everyone who lives in Tarago Nook also has a share of this Horde, and that they all guard it fiercely and add to it together.
Cheeky Fedo.
Aww. Oh, that's why I get it.
One day it may become split again, but for now it is imperative that it is kept a secret.
Oh. Okay.
Frankie would like to, which I don't really think it means much, but Frankie's been working on just like a cute little toy. Have you seen? I think they're really old school. There's little like wind-up dogs that sort of bounce, and then they do the flip.
Yeah.
So
And then they do the flip.
Yeah. So Frankie's been trying to work on that, but it looks absolutely terrifying because it's just the robotics inside.
Actual dog.
God. Okay.
Ew.
Yeah. So Frankie's gonna be like, "Hey, this is my latest masterpiece. That's not quite finished, but he loves it, and he would just like to put it on one of the like piles of treasure."
Aww.
Yeah. Ameth goes to object, but Welby chirps something at him, and he smiles and allows it to be added to the hoard.
God, I love Welby. He's really gained a personality.
Thank you, Welby. Yeah, it's like, ew, gross. We don't want that.
Ew. And
Welby's like, just let him. He
Welby's
doesn't
like,
have
shut
anything
up, that's
else.
my uncle. As we turn to leave, Karen turns to Ameth and says, not to be a snitch, but we all talked to Ferro, and they really want to go down to Ymir City. Just, if this is something that you're all interested in, know that there are safe spaces amongst us where people can visit if you want to visit, and if not, maybe keep an eye on him. I feel like he's going to make a break for it soon. From one parent to another guardian.
Thank you very much for your warning. Ferro will stay where he is put. As for your invitation, no offense, Karen, but I have an agreement with the holy servants, and for now we will stay here.
Sorry, the
Yo!
holy servants?
The ISIS's assassin administrator.
It's the bloody A team again.
I love
God, they get
them.
into everything.
How do you know
don't
them,
they?
and why do you have that agreement? Can I ask? You're cool.
In answer to your question, Flynn, he pats you on the shoulder and he says, I am sure that the government of your city would not appreciate me spilling details about secret pacts.
I'm just like, dude, like, you don't even understand.
Maybe if you know the administrator, you can ask her when you return.
Oh, okay, so we will. Also, just quickly, just a side note, did we end up giving him a moustache?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he has a moustache.
Yes.
That's too much. Too
Oh,
sexy.
jeez.
Oh, no, I was just thinking, like, when Penny described him, I thought of... What's his freaking name?
I thought of Jason Momoa
No.
Really?
with a book in his hand.
I thought of Oscar Isaac
Oh.
with a moustache, so that's what I was
Really?
thinking with.
Ah.
But with purple hair as well, and I guess a purple moustache.
The moustache is purple too. Oh no. I don't know about that one. That's silly Billy behavior.
So Ameth sees you back to the door and says goodbye to Welby, who is, like, after being in there, you ever give it a kid, like, a bunch of sugar and just watch them
Yes.
tear around for, like, 40 minutes? Yeah, he's like, pinging around and landing on everybody and, like, chirping, and he's the happiest
Oh,
that you've ever seen him. And he bids
sweet
you
boy.
goodbye. Yeah, Judah. Okay, yeah, he does look a bit like Judah. That's a
yeah!
that's a fairly good
That was so
representation,
funny.
except just a moustache, not a full beard.
But yeah, Judah from Joe Bobit, Jack Horseman, anyone who's listening.
With nowhere else to go, you head back towards the Tarago Nook. Blackguard is again trying to frantically scribble down everything and replace his notes.
Can I just rip out, like, just grab the newest page from the book and rip it out?
You hurt his feelings, but you can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it and be like, are you a moron?
No, I'm a journalist.
Same thing. Anyway, don't write about that, you dingoes.
Do you want Daddy Dragon to come down hard on us?
Sorry, what?
We've given you plenty to write about Blackguard. I'm sure you can cut this out for the good of everybody here.
Okay.
You can't write about us anymore.
Especially
if we're-
yourself.
if
You
we're
will be
dead.
killed if you write about it.
And you can't write about us anymore if you're dead.
Roll a persuasion check. Just Idafer and Karen, if you were the ones who were convincing. Or one of you with advantage.
I've got a +8. Do you want me to roll
You
an
do it.
advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 22.
Like, this is a little bit of a walk, right? You're able to convince Blackguard eventually to not include this part in the notes. And he settles for when someone reads this story, there'll be a small note about what happened next. I can't tell you. Rather than just completely leaving it out, he's like, I have to put something.
Yeah.
So he settles for like a mysterious hook.
That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
You're lucky we didn't leave you in that town.
But yeah, speaking of, as we're walking back, is there a huge dazed rock still there?
So as you're walking back, the rock is no longer dazed on the ground. It's above you in the sky, but you notice that it gives you plenty of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
bloody bird. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Out of here.
After a brisk hour of travel, the party makes it back to Tarago Nook, where surprisingly the entire town, like everyone from the town, is at the gates and waiting for you.
Welby's a king.
Ricky, Ma, as well as a dozen or so other people with different colored hair
Oh my
that
god.
you haven't had the chance to talk to are all waiting and so excited. And as you approach, they like run up to you and they all want to dote on Welby. Ameth definitely seems to have told them what was up because like their attitudes have completely changed and they're so like happy, and you're surrounded by different people who are all really excited to meet Welby and to see him. And Welby's having a wonderful little time.
Oh, cute.
That's our baby.
And then a loud, deep voice from above interrupts the chatter.
Oh no.
Rendered toothless for a hatchling. Pathetic. And above your heads, standing atop of one of the large buildings of Tarago Nook, is a red dragon.
What?
He looks down at you with an intimidating glare, and he regards you all with an intelligent way that you know that he is taking you in and trying to understand what you can do. You've all gone soft. You locked me up when I wanted to eat, but luckily,
Oh, son of a
Oh.
bitch.
I know a place where I'll find plenty of food. And Ma steps up and says, Ferro, cease this immediately. You've exposed us and you've violated the truce.
Oh man.
Stand down or we will make you stand down. And Ferro looks down and smiles and says, here's the thing, Ma. You all have to drop your forms to make me. And we all know there's not enough magic to go around. So no, I don't think I will. Everybody roll a dexterity saving throw.
I have a question.
Yep.
Should have left this boy locked up.
Can I use my Flash of Genius to give, us four a +5 to the saving rolls?
So does Flash of Genius require a reaction? Because if it does, you can only give it to one person.
When you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an ability check or saving throw, you can add +5 to the... you can use your reaction to add +5 to the roll.
So you can give it to one person.
Okay.
Karen rolled a 7.
I rolled well, so I'm alright.
Yeah, I'll go give it to Karen.
Okay.
Add +5.
I don't know if that's going to do anything though, bud. Has anybody got like a 13 or something, like something that's nearly there? Like a 7's bad.
No, I got 5.
I've got a 23.
Or a 5?
So, well, 8 in total, but yeah.
I'll give it. I'll still just give it to Karen because I don't really mind. I'll still use it. Frank, you rolled an 18.
Okay, 18 passes.
23.
23 passes.
12
12 fails.
with the Flash of Genius. Yep.
And I don't got 8.
Oh no.
8 fails, but this is fire damage and a dexterity saving throw, so I think you have
Oh,
two
wait,
abilities
wait.
that affect this. Frankie and Flynn pass, and Idafa and Karen fail.
Oh!
Miserably.
The failures are going to take 38 fire damage, and the passes are going to take half that.
Well, luckily, I'm a demon boy, so I have a resistance to fire, and I'm a rogue boy, so I have evasion.
So you
is
can
it-
half that and then half it again.
So that's a quarter.
Okay, sweet. So that was 38, right? So a quarter of 38 halved.
So it's 19 damage if you're halved,
Okay.
and then 9 damage again for Idafa. Karen, unfortunately, you're taking the full 38.
Aw.
Flynn and Frankie, you guys are taking 19, and Idafa, you're going to take 9 fire damage.
Nice.
And everybody else in the town who was all crowded around and bunched up all took the full 38.
No!
Sucks for them.
Can we say that Karen took the full proc because she tried to step in front of everyone else?
Yeah, absolutely, you can say that.
Yes!
Fero breathes fire across everybody in the town, including you guys, and then he flaps his wings and he takes to the skies and he begins flying towards Ymir City.
No, I want to kick his ass.
He calls back and he says, "You can eat the visitors, but the city is all mine."
You wish, you little shit. I yell at him.
Fero, you bad boy!
And everyone's rolling over. You notice that none of the other people in the town are as killed by this as you would expect. They're like, their clothing is all seared and they're like damaged, and some of them are not getting up, but they're not dead. And Idafer, having taken the least damage, you feel a hand on your wrist and you look up and you can see that Riki is holding your hand. And he grabs you and he starts to drag you away at a full sprint. Come on!
Okay, let's go!
And he turns back to you and he's running towards the shed and he's like, Fero's in full flight right now. None of us are going to be able to catch him. And he stops and he points at the rail heading off down the mountain. But Buttercup can.
Buttercup!
Let's go!
Kia ora, Penny here. I hope you're enjoying the episode, and hello to any of my Wellicon friends that I've been playing D&D with this weekend, all weekend. Just a heads up that at the end of this arc, we'll be taking a short break from posting so that I can focus on directing the Yes and charity stream. Expect about 2 more episodes and then a few months off before we come back. We'll still be recording the show, so there will be plenty of adventure coming in September when we return. A big hug to all of our patrons over on Patreon. James Courtright, Samsara, Waffles loves you and is hoping you have a good day, Claire McDonald, Jules Bergesser, Violet, Shobna Lee, Alex Moore, Lyndon Hood, Jesse Wesson, Disturbed One NZ, Andrew Evans, Luna Chris, and William Evans. You guys help us keep producing the show and making it possible to tell the whole thing. I'm so grateful for your support, and I hope you enjoyed the nice hug that I just gave you verbally. If you're curious about our bonus content, or you would like to become a supporter of the terrible adventures of the Janus and Breathitt's Parchment Company, go check out patreon.com/jbpcpodcast to become a supporter for as little as a couple of bucks a month. Music credits, thanks to Track Tribe for Dream It, Jung Logos for Escapism, Jamina Contreras for Frightmare, Nathan Moore for Read All Over, Telecasted for Riding Into the Sun and Sunshine, Anno Domini Beats for Sinister, Chris Horgan for Snowy Peaks Part 1, Nifix for The Itch, (instrumental), and Freedom Trail Studio for Wee Bubbles. As always, our social media pages are facebook.com/Janus and Breathitt's Podcast and at JBPC Podcast on Twitter. Keep an eye out on the Kiwi RPG hashtag for all sorts of things that Kiwi creators like us are doing with their projects. If you're a Kiwi RPG creator, come and join Kimu Whakato o Aotearoa, the Kiwi RPG Discord server, to find a great community of game designers, podcasters, and streamers. And keep an eye out on the 10th to the 18th of June, which is coming up really soon, which is Kimu Whakato o Aotearoa's Kiwi RPG Week, where myself, representing the Yes and charity stream, as well as a ton of other game creators and streamers and podcasters, will be putting on something special to celebrate Kiwi RPG Week and to celebrate our Kiwi ingenuity. Next episode, Hearth and Welby-ing Part 5, will be out in 2 weeks on the 18th of June. It's wrap-up time, so hopefully something exciting might happen. Maybe the raddest set piece in D&D might be coming up. Who knows? Maybe, probably not. But that's all from me. Let's get back to it.
I'm like super excited about
Wait,
this.
first can't we give magic to the other dragon people so that they can then turn and then help us?
There's no time.
Oh,
I think they need more magic than we have.
oh no.
Remember, when we arrived, Frankie determined that the entire town is on a network of fonts all interconnected with one another, so they have magic here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Let's get on Buttercup.
Riki turns to you, Karen, and he says, "Get those doors open," and he just starts stuffing the centipede with, like, you know, hay and food and grains and all kinds of things. It's just eating so much food, he's just stuffing it in there.
Yum, yum, yum.
And he says, "All aboard!" And, like, there's a little cabin on the back of the head, and he just jumps up there and starts, like, setting up some kind of makeshift control panel. Frankie, if you want to have a look at what's going on, you can roll an investigation check.
Frankie is 100% in there. That's a 24.
Yeah.
Nice.
It appears that the chitin plate on the back of the centipede's head has been removed, and there's some kind of direct interface with its brain that has been, like,
Jesus
replaced
Christ.
with
Ugh, I don't like that.
Frankie explains it just like that, but using more sciencey words.
Karen, you finished throwing open the doors to the station, and you turn around, you can see Buttercup's dozen eyes just blinking in the afternoon light. She makes an odd skittering noise, and all of her segments begin to wiggle.
I jump up onto Buttercup.
So Ricky turns back and he's like, hey, by the way, if you have any way of letting the city know what's heading their way, it might be a good idea to prepare them. There's no guarantee we're going to catch up if he's pacing it.
We've got a sending stone, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie, you'd better call Murphy.
Call your boyfriend.
He's not my boyfriend.
Good.
Frankie blushes. So Frankie just
Frankie, we'd better talk about that later. Karen, gossip.
That's not a good thing.
So Frankie just like takes out the stone and sort of hunches up and like, hey Murphy, you there?
Oh, hey, Francis, I was just thinking about you.
Wait a minute, now's the time. You need
Karen's
to
right
tell.
there. She's like, ooh.
I have everybody else here with me.
All right, keep it clean. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. What's up?
So Frankie is like just beet red. But he's like, so I don't want to alarm anyone, but
Oh, no.
there's an alarming thing about to happen. There might be a large red dragon. How it got out of the cave.
What the And then there's a bunch of swearing that you can hear.
Yeah, it wasn't us. We totally didn't let this guy go.
When I hear him start to swear, I'm like, man, Frankie, he sounds a bit crude to be with you, don't you think?
And Murphy's like, hang on a second. Are you telling me that there is a dragon on its way to the city right now?
Yes.
Yes, Murphy.
Yes.
What the hell do you want me to do about that?
Tell everybody.
Tell everyone. Mobilize the kids.
The children.
You know how he has a connection to those kids, right?
Why is it that every time you call me, it's an end of the world scenario?
Because
You literally haven't even called me just to say hi. Just the once to say the city's in trouble. Shit.
wait, no, that's not fair. I did call you that one time to be like, how are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, okay, sorry. You're right. I'm just freaking out. What am I supposed to do?
Stay safe, Murphy.
You can hear a lot of, like, clattering in the background, and you guess that he is, like, packing up his stock right now.
That's my Murphy.
Excuse me?
Don't worry about your stock. Just get yourself safe. Maybe warn the city somehow.
Oh, you're gonna make me do something I really don't want to do, Francis. This is the worst. Just see if you can stop it. I'll do what I can on my end, okay? Yanis! And then he cuts off.
Thank you, Murphy. Oh, he's gone.
Let's go.
Ooh. You might have to take him out to dinner when we get back. Francis.
Leaky is like pulling switches and like moving levers around, and like all of the segments of Buttercup are like wiggling, and you hear like a clattering of the little legs as they like attach themselves to the part of the rail that they're supposed to be on. And Riki turns around and he's like, all right, seatbelts on. I've never had a chance to go full speed out of the gate, so this is going to be extremely unsafe.
Well, don't forget to have fun. And she puts her seatbelt on.
Yep, Flynn like jumps up and buckles in, and he's like, "Hold on, Welby."
All right, everybody ready?
Everybody ready?
And Buttercup, go!
Woo!
And Riki pushes the lever all the way up, and you're just blasted back in your seat as the centipede shoots from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye, straight out of the shed.
Oh my god.
Tarago Nook, it's gone. Snowy Peaks, gone. Blackguard, also gone.
Oh no! Really?
He was too busy writing in his book, and he didn't put his seatbelt on, and he's no longer in the seat that he was in.
Secrets kept.
This centipede is clackety clacking along the metal track like an enormous gross bullet out of an enormouser grosser gun. Riki turns back to you, and he's shouting over the like sound of the wind. He's like, okay, we're gonna catch up with him soon. He's probably halfway to the city, so whatever you're gonna do it good. I'm gonna slow us down a little. Jump up onto the roof. And ahead of you, getting closer and closer, you can see two things rapidly approaching in the distance. 1 is the sprawling metropolis of Ymir City, standing proud and tall amongst the surrounding farmland. And in the foreground, flying closer on leathery red wings, Ferro the dragon is flying next to the track and absolutely booking it to the city you call home. Our heroes, finding their feet on the back of a centipede train, stand tall with the wind in their hair, summoning their weapons and preparing their magic. The only people who can possibly stop the enormous dragon from consuming their fellow Ymirsons. Roll for initiative.
Oh my god.
Oh, ripped.
Karen rolled an 11.
Frankie rolled an 18.
Flynn got 16.
Ido rolled 10.
Ooh, I hope you guys are excited for this as I am, because this is going to be wild.
I didn't get to put any spells into my pin though.
Well, you could have, but you didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ma is white, Ferro is red, Kakariki green. Yeah, got it, we got it.
My Poro is purple, just letting you know.
Well, technically, he's amethyst, not purple dragon. The actual name for an amethyst is Ametihita. So I kept the ameth part at the start.
Yeah,
Nice.
there you go.
Here we go, guys. You're about to fight a dragon in Dungeons & Dragons for the first time. And how long have we been playing this? 2.5 years?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Initiative start. Ferro doesn't seem to have noticed you behind him, and you're rapidly closing in. You have a surprise round to prepare, but as soon as you attract his attention, that goes away. We'll go in order of initiative, so I'll just... Frankie, you are first.
How far away in terms feet is he from us?
At the moment, he is about 100 feet in front of you, but at the end of this surprise round, he will be within 50 feet.
I'm still an elk aspect,
Yep.
so our travel pace is double.
Okay.
So
So he's 50 feet now then.
the centipede train can go twice as fast as it normally can.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you were standing on the roof of it when that was happening, you wouldn't be standing on the roof of it anymore.
That's true.
He had to slow down so that you guys could get onto the roof without being blown away.
That is true.
What a good sweet boy.
So, okay, Frankie, that's a great point, Karen. Frankie, he is within 50 feet of you. You have seconds until he notices you.
Okay.
You can just pass if you don't have a preparation round that you want to do.
No, I don't have a preparation round.
Flynn, would you have any spells or anything you'd like to do for a preparation round?
Would I have time to ask anyone else to put some in?
Yeah, that is a good point. Anyone who has a spell that would cast one action can put it into Flynn's pin, but it will cost you the spell slot that you're using and the electrum that it would cost.
Yeah.
So, Frankie, if you don't have anything that you want to do, you can spend your turn putting a spell into Flynn's pin.
Okay, I'll put in web into his pin.
Cool. What level is that?
That is 2nd level.
Cool. So you 2 electrum, and Flynn, 2 of the levels of your pin are now consumed. You can now cast web as an action.
Ooh.
Flynn, it is your turn. What would you like to do to prepare?
So I'm going to get out my laughing blade, and I'm going to cast... Oh, if I cast first, will that notify...
If you target him with a spell, he will notice you. If you are targeting your allies or targeting yourself with a spell, you'll be fine. So, for example, you could do healing, you could do a buff spell, you could do, something on the terrain that you're standing on, but you can't... As soon as you target him, that's the end of the surprise round.
I'll do bardic info.
Okay.
Who's the first to go on initiative?
Frankie.
Because he was standing so close to me to pull my wand, you can have the 1d10.
Nice.
Karen, you don't have any ranged attacks, eh?
No.
Okay. And then can I take the last action then to hand the wand of lightning to Karen?
That's fine. Yeah, so bonus action, bardic inspiration to Frankie, and action give an item to Karen. That's fine. Karen, you now have the wand of lightning bolts. Karen, it is your turn. Would you like to do anything to prepare?
No. I've been looking through my stuff.
Right, that's fine. So you want to pass?
Yeah, I take out my weapon. I take out the temperate great axe.
Yep.
And it's two-handed and heavy. No, I don't take out the temperate great axe. You know what? I don't do that. I've been handed the wind of lightning bolt. That's it. That's what I've got.
All right, Idafer, what are you going to do for your surprise round?
I am pulling out my dagger and also my new sickle.
Oh, question.
Yep.
Does anybody want to get on the dragon? This is a serious question. Who wants to get on the dragon?
Mama's gonna transport one of us over there, isn't she?
If you want to, I can get you on the dragon.
I don't want to.
Wait, because I was like, I had an idea. I was going to attempt to try and cast web slightly in front of it so it flies into it, and or cast until I realized I was too heavy to cast catapult on myself and catapult myself to the dragon. But then I also realized that would also be a bad idea.
Yeah, I'd love to take myself to the dragon, but the wing of the butterfly doesn't let me do that. But I can get someone else up there if they want to.
Yeah, so could you take Frankie?
But I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to, smack Idafer on the back and be like, "Get on up there, soldier!" And then Idafer's like, "No, I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here."
I was going to say I probably could afford to go up on him.
Okay, so my next
with my it's going to be hard for him to attack me, and when he does, I've got uncanny dodge.
Can you hold on tightly?
Yeah.
For my next action, I'm going to teleport you onto the dragon. Is that okay?
That is okay. Thank you for asking for consent.
All right. I would like to hold an action to teleport Idafer up onto the back of the dragon using the ring of the butterfly after Idafer's turn.
Sick.
Okay.
And I will hand a healing potion to Mama.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, dear. I'm at full health.
You took 38 fire damage a minute ago.
Oh, shit. I'm not at full health at all. I drink it immediately.
Is a potion of healing, right, Idafer?
Yeah, potion of healing.
Because you're using a bonus action to drink it, Karen, that's 2d8 plus 2 healing. Your action is going to be to cast the teleport. And if you take dragon fire damage, please make sure you write it down on your HP. That's going to be fairly relevant in a couple of minutes.
No, I did it down, and I just was looking directly at it, so I forgot.
Oh, I see.
So 2d8 plus what, sorry?
2d8 plus 2.
Okay, that's 8 plus 2, so that's 10 healing points. Lovely, thank you.
All right, let me paint you a word picture.
Yep.
You guys are standing on the roof part of the cab of the train. The wind is blowing in your hair, and just up ahead of you, next to the elevated track, the red dragon is flying with its wings spread, basically like flying along next to the thing, using it as a guide. All of you, pass potions to each other and drink them, and Frankie casts a spell into Flint's pin, and Welby gets his heckles up, standing on Dad's shoulder, and you guys all take your stances, and then Karen reaches over and taps Idafer on the back, and he vanishes, and he reappears kind of between the shoulder blades of Fedor. And Fedor finally notices you, and his head turns a little bit, and he kind of wobbles a bit in his flight and almost crashes into the tracks. He sees you and he's like, "What in the hell's is this now?"
I'm just like, "I'm back, bitch."
All right, time for initiative. Frankie, you're up. He is 25 feet from you and kind of horizontally next to the train.
Okay, so now Frankie has an idea, because even though I know Idafer is like he could handle breath attacks or whatever, I want to try and prevent him from doing any other breath attacks, at least for a round or two. So I am going to attempt to cast web. Now, because I'm not anchoring it, it will collapse in on itself, but I'm hoping that if he flies into it, it'll just collapse in around his face and or mouth, so he can't open his mouth to do breath attacks. That's my idea. That's my idea.
That's a clever use.
You're making a web muzzle.
What is the saving throw?
It's DC Dex 17.
Here we go. Rolling that. He has a Dex plus 4 to his saving throws. And I rolled a 9.
Oh.
Exactly what you aimed for happens. You create the web, and it appears in front of him, and then kind of immediately he flies straight into it. It's not big enough to completely snare him,
yes,
but it goes around his head and face. So I'm going to say until he can remove it, he can't open his mouth, at least for a little bit, and he's going to have disadvantage on perception checks and melee attacks.
Hey, yes, gotcha. That's what I wanted.
Good work.
Any bonus actions or movement? By the way, the big square that you're standing on, there's no cover, but it is 20 feet long and 10 feet wide. So it's just kind of big enough for everyone to stand on.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't. No bonus actions for me.
Cool.
That's it.
Fedor also rolled an 18, so Fedor's going to be next. He is going to try and make a claw attack, and he's going to Actually, no, he can't reach Idafer. He's going to fly above the train, so he's going to drift up and across so that he's directly above you. He's 10 feet above you, and he is going to try and do a claw attack on Frankie. That is a 13 plus 10. That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Would you consider Ferro to be adjacent to us at this moment?
If you have 10 foot reach, then yes.
I don't have 10
but
foot
the
reach.
claws are attack. Yeah, so yes.
I use my reaction to attack Ferro immediately using Sentinel.
Okay. So the claw is going to be 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage. Frankie, you are going to take 14 slashing damage.
That's okay.
Frankie.
And Karen, go ahead and take your attack.
Okay. I don't have my great axe out, so this is going to be just an unarmed strike. That is a 21 to hit.
Ring of the Ram?
Oh, shit! Yeah! Yeah, I do have the Ring of the Ram. As the claws come down to scratch at Frankie, she just punches the dragon straight in the hand. Just a big old hand punch with the Ring of the Ram. Bam!
And you rolled a 21?
So I got a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Yeah! Oh my god. She hits him 7 damage.
Cool, okay.
And the target is knocked back in feet equal to the dice roll, but I don't know. The dragon is gigantic, so maybe it just knocks his hand around.
He's going to use his second multi-attack to try and bite the web off. Frankie, I'm going to say that to get the web broken would be to beat your spell save DC. Does that seem fair?
Yep, that's right.
Cool. That is a 3 plus 10, 13.
The DC is 17.
Okay. And Karen, would you remind me, you hit him with an attack with Sentinel.
Yeah.
So the part of the set piece that we're doing here is that they're both moving forwards at the same speed.
Oh yeah, I suppose this opportunity attack, but it's fine. It's fine if you don't want him to stop.
Yeah, he's not going to stop. What I'm going to say is he can't move away, he can't fly anywhere else, but you guys are still hurtling along at the same speed forwards.
Okay.
I'm just going to take that liberty because if one of you suddenly stops moving, you're going to shoot out in front of him and the fight's going to be really complicated and boring, so I'm not going to do that. Flynn, it is your turn. Ferro is 10 feet above you.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to... I don't know if this will do much damage because it's a dragon, but I really want to cast Fireball at one of its wings.
Okay.
I mean, it's... Okay.
Do you think you guys will die?
No, I think he's not going to take any damage because he's a fire dragon.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do Shatter instead then. So I'm going to cast Shatter, which is a sound effect in a radius of 60 feet, range 10 foot kind of cone. But you have to roll a con save, or you get 3d8 thunder damage.
Constitution saving throw? What is the DC?
15.
Cool. He has a Constitution saving throw of +9.
Oh.
So that's 16 plus 9, 25. So that's half damage, I assume?
Yes, yep.
Cool. So how much damage?
13.
And half of that?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's another 7 damage. Where did you aim it?
Oh, so I aimed it at his ears. His kind of eye head region.
Cool. That is right where... Oh, I suppose he's got a long neck. What's the radius of the...
No, I was going for behind the... Don't worry, I wasn't hitting the web.
Yeah, does it say it has to be somewhere you can see? Because since he's above you and his wings are spread, you wouldn't be able to see his ears.
It just says a radius.
Cool. Okay, so because you used Shatter on that area, he's now going to have disadvantage on perception checks that involve hearing.
Cool.
Cool. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I'll get out my Laughing Blade, and I want Welby to go do Euphoric Breath on him.
Yeah, Welby basically flies up off your shoulder and then immediately grabs back on to your cloak because as soon as he took flight, he was about to get whooshed off by the fast wind.
Oh, I'm too little.
Welby can't fly fast enough to keep up with this thing, so if he tries to fly again, he may get swept away.
Okay, never mind. I'm like, oh no, and I grapple at him, which kind of distracts me a little bit.
Yeah, he wiggles his butt and he growls. He's definitely keen to be a part of it, but he definitely can't fly independently. He's going to need to go with people. Karen, it is your turn.
How long is the roof?
20 feet long, 10 feet wide.
Okay. And how long is the dragon? Like, is his body around about the same size as the centipede? And is he bigger than the roof? Because what I'd essentially like to do is take a running jump and try to grapple onto tail while raging.
That is fine. I'm happy for you to make an athletics check on that. Keep in mind that if you fail, there's very little room for error if you are jumping because of how fast we're all moving.
Yeah, no, I know. But
okay, roll me an athletics check.
But then I also have the tiger active.
Okay.
So I can jump an extra 3 feet to high jump and 10 feet to long jump.
Okay.
So I'm essentially going to try and jump in an arc towards tail and just grab onto it.
Okay.
And it does also say, in the rules, it does say your gem might allow you to make a strength athletics check to jump higher than normally can. So that might be like the grabbing on.
To the tail.
Yeah.
Okay, and just to be clear, you're not using rage yet?
No, I am. So I'm just... Karen takes as many steps as she needs to get to the very front of the roof on the centipede train. And she turns around to face the back.
Okay.
She holds a electrum piece in her hand and suddenly it's gone. She has flashed 20 feet to the back of the train in an instant. And as soon as she gets there, she jumps.
Roll me an athletics check.
And she's reaching for the tail.
You have advantage because you're raging and this is a strength check?
I don't know if I need advantage because I rolled a 19. 19 plus 9?
Yeah, that is great. You run forwards to the front of the train, you turn around, you pop rage and feel the power going through you, and you jump. And in that moment that you're suspended in the air, you like drift back, like past everyone, and you like reach an arm up and around, and you grab onto Tefero's tail. You have successfully grappled his tail.
Yes!
You are currently on the underside of it.
Okay. Let's hope he tries to bash me off so I can continue rage.
So that was just your movement. Go ahead and make an action if you want to.
I've used my bonus action. I've used my movement. Can I use my action to summon a weapon?
No, that's a free action.
Oh, it's a free action.
But your axe is two-handed.
It is.
And at the moment, your arms are being used to hold on for dear life.
Can I use my action to get onto the top of his tail?
Yeah, roll me another athletics check or an acrobatics check.
It's gonna be an athletics check. That's a 21.
All right. Yeah, you do. You like put the wand of lightning bolts in your teeth like a pirate, and you like grab around to the top of the tail, and you grab onto one of his like dorsal scales, and you like pull yourself up and around and wrap your legs around his tail. You're now sitting on the back of his tail on the top.
That's exactly where I want to be. Thank you.
Cool. Idafe, you're up.
All right. But I'm going to start off by stabbing my dagger into him so that I can stay on top of him.
Yep, okay. So roll me an attack roll. With advantage, because you're literally on him. It'd be very hard to miss.
21.
21 hits. So roll your dagger damage. And I guess you get sneak attack as well, because that was with advantage.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to have to grab some more dice.
That's what we'd like to hear when we're fighting a dragon. Hang on, guys. I'm going to need to get some more dice.
That's 21 damage.
Ooh, nice.
And then, with my bonus action, can I use my offhand sickle?
I don't see why not. That's what it's for.
Fabuloso. Okay, let me just double check this. So it's a +2 sickle. Nice. All right.
Whenever you guys say +2 sickle, my brain goes popsicle.
Yes. Oh my god.
Is it advantage for any attacks while I'm standing on him?
What I'm going to say is you now have advantage on any checks that I make for him to throw you off. So if he tries to shake you loose or throw you off of his back, as long as you have that dagger in one hand and it's in his skin, you have advantage on any of those checks.
Okay. But for the sickle, do I get advantage on trying to like hit him as well? Or?
No, you've had advantage.
Okay, sweet ass. That's alright then. Alright. Hey, nat 20. That's
there you go. That is. I'm so glad that you used your sneak attack on the first attack and not this one. So can you go ahead and roll me the double damage on the sickle, which I believe that we said a sickle was a D4. Is that right, or is it a D6?
It might have been a D6, but because dagger's D4, rapier's D8.
Yeah, it's a small light weapon similar to a Okay. Any sickle as a melee weapon is another d4 damage, so you can get 2d4 plus the bonus of 5 to this attack.
So that is 10 damage in total.
Cool. And what about with the last attack? Can you add it all together, including your dagger, sneak attack, and second attack?
Okay. With my dagger, I cause 21 damage.
Ooh.
And then with my sickle, my offhand, I cause 10 damage. So in total, that is 31 damage.
Very nice.
It's all piercing.
Oh, piercing.
I just want to check one thing, because I think I had... It's a feat I took called Piercer.
Oh, cool. What does that do?
You can re-roll a piercing damage die once per turn.
Yeah, you can re-roll any of the d4s that you rolled this turn if you want to try go for higher.
Cool. I gain a damage die when I critically pierce.
Okay.
Which I already did. Like that one, it depends on how you do crit.
So you would gain an extra die. So your sickle should have done 3d4 instead of 2d4.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Because you got a nat 20.
I might just re-roll that last damage just in case it ends up being more. Yes. Yeah.
Cool. All done. Well done. And good use of your feet as well.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Nice.
It is the top of the round. Fedor is very angry. Fedor and Frankie both rolled an 18. So, Frankie, do you mind if I take Fedor's attack before yours this time?
Fine.
So, Fedor is going to basically try and wrench his jaw open out of the web.
Nice waste of a turn, dude.
That is a natural 20.
Oh.
So he's going to rip his jaw open of the web, and he's really mad. He turns over, and he's like, "This is nothing. Eat fire."
And when you say turn over, do you mean he flip?
No, sorry. He turns. He's going to turn towards the centipede.
Oh, okay.
He's going to use his fire breath on Buttercup.
No!
So he doesn't hit anyone who's standing on Buttercup. And what happens is the fire clears, and Buttercup just goes straight through it. And he's going to be like, "You didn't pay attention in biology class.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are fireproof. Choo choo, motherfucker."
Yeah, Ricky!
Off they go, taking our newest young one with them. Ameth here, or Professor Peridot, if you're so inclined. Thanks for listening, and please, take it from me. Be open to new experiences. You never know who's about to walk into your life. And if you eat them all, you could miss out on so much.